streaming. All right, refresh. Tell me if it's streaming now. I'm now showing on YouTube Studio it is. All right, sorry guys, we had some technical difficulties. We will get there in just a second.
Looks like the same link.
It is.
And sounds good.
Yeah, we'll just have to test.
All right.
Sounds good.
Let me get let me send out you want to send out a quick update? We can go ahead and get started.
If you want to, because you're going to have it's going to be faster on your device right now.
Okay, so nonsense. And the Canvas webinars page is good, yes?
Yes, because the same link. I have 10 concurrent viewers, or 6 concurrent viewers right now.
All right.
So we definitely want to send.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you, Jake.
If you all could just, if anyone's in here, go ahead and let us know that you're hearing us by filling out the form real quick.
We had some that said that they hadn't.
Yeah, but that might have been from the 15-minute or 10-minute delay. So depending on when they submitted.
Yeah, it's just j.mp/ITPD office hours, and just let us know you're hearing us. We confirmed on our end we're hearing it, but just want to make sure.
Yeah, and we're going to work on sending out an announcement to everybody.
I just sent that.
Awesome. Yeah, because there was a delay there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the joys of broadcasting, right?
Making this. All right.
Yeah, cool.
We are good to go.
Very good.
So, Amy, do you want to, let me look at the live screen and see what we're seeing. There we go. Sorry, I had the other window up. All right, good morning, everybody. So welcome on December 8th. The tech people are getting into a tech mess, which is fun. So, but we've worked it out. Stay patient with each other. And, so how are you guys doing other than the current amount of stress? I got Jake and Amy and Sagan's kind of lurking on us. You guys doing all right this morning?
Here.
Sure. Yeah. I think Amy's going to start adding some gray hairs. So today we've got a few things to show you, a couple previews, some changes. First on the list is going to be our usual reminders. And before you jump over there, if you haven't already, we've got the link for the BIT. It's actually on both pages, so it's okay. It's the bit.ly /CMS Google account. It is case sensitive. Amy created this for us. We run into a ton of Google account issues where there's conflicts. I'm even seeing them on the iPads in some of the tickets. I don't know if you've seen those, Jake, but they're not able to see video. So if you got students saying they can't see a video on an iPad, it could be that they're not signed in with their CMS Google account, or another account might be signed in. Either way, you get what's called account conflict, and that conflict can really create havoc. So this is a good way to sign out of all accounts and then sign in with the correct account. So
yeah. And the other issue with that is that the cross-site allowing setting in the iPad that we've talked about before for on iPads not seeing images. That one, let's see, there's another piece there to consider.
Yeah, and we've added we've added both of those. Amy, if you go to the reminders, we've added both of those sets of instructions to canvas.cmslearns.org. So if they were to search for Google account, this will show up. And if also search iOS or iPad, that issue with the cross site thing with the images will be there. As always, the j.mp/ITPD office hours form is open 24/7, and that link is there at the bottom. So if you've got questions as we're going, please submit to that. If you're submitting Sharewell tickets, again, we know we say this every week, but if you're supporting others, which is a part of our role, help them submit good tickets. We've gotten a number of them this week that says, teacher told me they can't do this. Well, who's the teacher? What's the course? So please, please, please help your staff members that you support submit good tickets. It'll help us expedite the process, get it resolved faster, and it'll avoid more frustration. If you're still working on the PD courses, Canvas Challenge and Google Drive Challenge, use the PD course support forms. Amy's rocking it out with that. How are we looking on that, Amy?
Pretty good. We had a couple that were some credit issues. Just make sure that before you email us to check that you have credit, that you've actually completed all 3 parts of the course. So that includes that reflection survey at the end, and we do only pass credit 1 time a month. So do make sure that you check that before you or your people submit a ticket for that. But other than that, doing great. Yep.
And the one that we're seeing is we did push out credit, is the My Talent push, and that is everybody's favorite PowerSchool. There's an issue with the sync sometimes, so we're aware that that happens. If you confirm that you've done everything and you submit the form, Amy checks it out. If there's an issue, what she does is she forwards it on to us, and then we go in and award the credit and make sure you're good. So just, again, use those support forms for those courses. If you see PowerSchool changes, whether it's a change of student to a different course, a new student, or change of teacher record, please note 24 to 72 hours on that. And then the link at the bottom there is the Digital Innovation Office Hours. I think that's run by the curriculum team. So cool. All right, those are reminders. Amy, if you want to go into the first thing. The first update is issues with the equation editor and blueprint sync delays. Jake, do you want to talk about the editor?
Yeah.
We don't have a slide on that. It's something we're aware of. We've communicated with the curriculum team. What's happening is it's something wonky where.
So the easy fix is because we don't need to tell these users how to blueprint sync. They're not doing the sync. So the curriculum team, I've sent the instructions for them on what they need to do. So that fix has been in place. They're able to sync now. So the content should show up by tomorrow for them to be able to have the resources they need for instruction.
Cool.
So that the syncing is fine now. The issue with the equation editor, they're working on that. And
that's math
sure
3 through 5.
That's all. Anyone who uses the equation editor right now in Canvas could experience this problem. Basically, if you write an equation for a question on a quiz, and then you save it, and then you want to change it, when you make the change, it can end up causing the equations to get all weird. It won't show the equation. It'll show just basic HTML code in there. So they're working on a fix for that. So this could affect anyone who's creating content in Canvas with equations right now.
Okay, cool. Thank you. The next thing is the preview of the assignments page enhancements. I don't know if we're gonna be able to pull that off today, are we?
Well, I'm going to try something here.
Okay.
So I am going to join this ITPD support, and you should be seeing my screen.
Do you want me to broadcast that instead then?
Just make my screen the big one in what you're showing.
Let me pin you. It's just slow. I pinned the wrong one. I don't want to pin myself. Guys, what just happened there?
We're having all kinds of fun today.
Okay.
To indicate to users a little better what assignments will actually sync to PowerSchool when they're on their assignments page. And just trying to highlight some things on the assignments page to make it more clear.
Hold on.
What's going on there?
I am not sure.
Our computer's struggling for it.
It's definitely struggling. Change layout. Let's see if I can. Jeez. Okay. Sorry, guys. I normally do a wonderful reset, router reset before I do this for this reason. That's fabulous. It won't like unpin.
Do you want me to go on to the next topic while you're?
Yeah, you try that for a second.
In top right corner, you can unpin.
I tried that. It won't click.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh God, thank you. Jeez.
Really weird.
It's like, yeah, like I'm clicking the right things. I promise y'all. All right. Pin. There we go. We're making progress, guys. Patience with technology today. All right. It's a little blurry, but I think it's okay. They'll get the gist.
Yeah, so I can zoom in I'll show it a little better. So the assignment pages, normally it has different assignment groups and it defaults to like assignments that we see here. What we're doing is putting in some highlighting to show like this assignment group will not sync to PowerSchool no matter what you try. And then it will show each assignment that actually has been toggled to sync to PowerSchool. If it's in an assignment group that won't ever allow it to sync to PowerSchool, it will indicate that. So it says to sync, move this into an imported assignment group. So they'd have to move this assignment down to one that actually would. So like this next assignment group says these assignments will not sync to PowerSchool as well. But they have imported. The formal and informal assignment groups are here. They just need to move any assignment they want to sync to PowerSchool down to that assignment group in order for it to work. So we have to work, it's just trying to help indicate in really bold letters here, very prominently, that this assignment would have to be moved to one of those other assignment groups in order for it to work. So if I were to click here and do move to and move it to, let's say, informal. Now when I go down to informal, it will show up, and notice it doesn't have any indicator saying there's a problem now because it is syncing correctly. So it's in the right place to be able to sync to PowerSchool. So this would ensure that this assignment will now sync, but there are plenty of others further up that we saw that have that issue. Now, if they move it to back to assignments, this in-class assignment is moved back up to here, and we're going to see it again with that issue. Also, you'll note that we've removed the options to click here to sync to PowerSchool if the assignment doesn't already have it checked and that assignment is in a non-imported assignment group. So if it's not in one of these assignment groups, informal or formal, it won't be able to sync to it, is the idea. Here we have an example of teacher that have checked the box to post to PowerSchool, but they haven't even imported the assignment groups from PowerSchool in order to do the work. So it's highlighting in every way we can, hey, there's problems and you're not going to get grades to post to PowerSchool unless you fix these problems. That's what we're working through with these. I think I had one more example of a scenario. Is it on this one? Nope, I'm just going to go on to the next one. Okay, so here we've got examples, imported assignment groups. It's all good. They have assignments that they can toggle to sys import or sys to sync to PowerSchool on or off. But then in this group here, these assignments are not in a correct assignment group, so they cannot toggle the button to sync to PowerSchool. So it's just ways to really make it obvious. If the assignment is in the correct group, one of these groups with a blue flag saying that the assignment can sync, then they'll have no problems making those work. And if there's over here, if this assignment is in the wrong assignment group, it's not in a blue one, but a red indicator, then they need to move it to one of the correct assignment groups. So this is just something we're trying to add to help with this, because I will tell you that Justin and I see the majority of our tickets are about PowerSchool, syncing grades back to PowerSchool, and the issues are always not set up right. They have assignments that are in the wrong place. And if any one assignment is in the wrong place, it will probably prevent any grades from getting over. Like as soon as there's an issue, it seems to just fail and won't sync grades. So once that's fixed, things work better. So we're sharing you this. We would love your input. If you have any strong opinions about these indicators, good or bad, let us know. We're planning to roll this out soon. If unless we hear some feedback that says, no, that's a terrible idea, don't do this. We're trying to just make it easier for users to understand what's going on there with the assignment groups and being able to sync to PowerSchool. The other thing we want to show is in the course navigation settings. We have added some functions. We posted an announcement last week about it, but just so that you're aware, we've increased the number of save buttons in the course navigation. When you go to settings, navigation, used to be that you could drag and drop things here and you wouldn't even know because there's no save button at the top to do it. The save button was buried all the way at the very bottom. So we just duplicated the save button, put it in 3 different places, top, middle, and bottom. So you shouldn't, there are a few times when you would be able to see just navigation items and not a save button. So you've got the option to save anywhere you want here. The other thing we have is alphabetized navigation links. So it's just kind of a preference that we find that as we were talking, we said, wouldn't it be nice to just alphabetize these, and figure other users might want to do that as well. So if you look at our navigation, it's all over the place as far as alphabetical order. So if you just click alphabetize, what it's going to do is rearrange everything, keep the home button at the top, of course, but then everything else is in alphabetical order until you, now some of these things, like if they're in the disabled section, but it is like Canvas chat, if Canvas chat is disabled, but it doesn't show up here at the top, doesn't even show up in the navigation at all, does it?
I think it's like quizzes and assignments and modules. Yeah.
So if I put quizzes down here at the bottom, it will show up. If I disable quizzes, basically, quizzes is going to show up at the bottom, even though it's alphabetized. If I alphabetize the navigation, quizzes is still going to show up at the bottom because it's intentionally disabled in the navigation, but the Canvas native course links always appear for teachers. So it's below the alphabetized active course links, let's say. So it's a little bit confusing, that piece, but overall, the effect is students will always see their course navigation links alphabetically. Teachers will see them alphabetically with a few kind of weirdly at the bottom because they're technically disabled, even though they're visible. So anyway, that's another aspect that we're adding to just help get your courses a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to organize those course links. Definitely recommend figuring out which links you want to be visible and disable the rest, just trying to make it easier for students to find what they need to find. So we highly recommend those 2 things, and we're trying to give you extra tools that aren't native in Canvas to help with that, namely the settings here for this, and then all the highlighting that we've done on the assignments page to help indicate whether or not your assignments are properly configured in order to sync grades back to PowerSchool.
So I used the save button today, actually. I added the webinars page to the Canvas admin course navigation so that it's always there. And yeah, that save button up top, I was able to move it, click save.
How many times have you tried to modify navigation and forgot what you were doing to make that happen?
Yeah, especially one of those when you take a while to make sure it's all right, and then you forget, and you're like, oh, come on. So, yeah. So next thing on the agenda, I guess, Jake, if you want to share your screen.
What's on the agenda next?
Oh, are we?
Because we're all out of.
Okay, gotcha. Hold on. I moved, so I'm going to have to go back. Dang it. Wait a minute. Can I not see the Canvas consultation?
I think we're good.
I was going to say, can I see it?
There you
yeah.
go.
There we go. Okay, yeah.
So next thing is the Canvas admin consultations. You'll notice the big coming soon. Basically what this is we're trying to create a way for extended time for Canvas admins at the schools to have time to discuss some of the things that they're doing with their staff or how they can better support their staff. The reason we're doing this is we recognize so many of you are doing great things and you want the time to learn more and take those next steps, and we want to help. So we've created appointment slots on our shared calendar. Jake and I have a shared calendar that we work off of. And what we'll do is we'll be adding a web app to this course where you can go in, fill out the form, and then what we'll do is we'll review it and send you a message once we've reviewed it. And that same web app will have a place once you've been approved to select an appointment slot, and then we'll meet. So that is coming soon. We're still working on the app. I spent a lot of time messing with the code yesterday and messing it up, which gave us a good laugh. But it is something that's coming. It's something we're working on. And once we get that done and set up, we'll send an announcement. Jake, was there anything you wanted to add to that?
No, well, yeah, it's just we understand that a lot of things people just, it would be helpful to have some time working focused with us, and we're just trying to offer that opportunity. This is meant just for admins, for people that are supporting schools in the use of Canvas. So helping you in your role is what we're here for. It's not meant for like working with the teachers. It's working with you to help you understand how to support them. So we're training you is what we're trying to schedule time for. Give you the expertise to be more equipped to support your staff. If you need us to help an individual teacher, that still needs to be a ticket, right?
Cool. So next thing is, we discussed this the week of Thanksgiving. We weren't sure that if everybody got it, so we put it back on the agenda just as an FYI. It's the leadership viewer role. This has been added to all the sub-accounts, and basically it allows whoever is designated as a leadership viewer to view all the courses and users, but not have edit rights in their school's sub-account. So, you know, the meme at the bottom, with great power comes great responsibility. You want to be very judicious on who gets this. All right. It'll allow them to see student grades, observer contact information, the users page enhancements that Jake created that show you some more information about their schedule, their active courses, the grades, all of that will show up as well. It is not given by job title. It is assigned by Canvas admins at the school. So if someone submits a ticket to say, I'd like to be added as a leadership viewer, we're going to reply, have your admins at your school perform this process.
It's a quick thing to do.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's just make sure that you're assigning someone that actually needs access to see the entire school's courses.
And the purpose of this role really, and Amy helped us with this too, is guidance counselors, data managers, school leaders that are in other roles. They sometimes need to see this information. So this is a good use for this role for these people. But again, make sure they understand what they're getting and how to use it and how to properly manage the data that they're getting.
Yeah, I think at Butler, we saw the fact that there were sometimes people who needed a better overview of how students are performing right now, especially during remote learning, and they didn't have access to that information in real time. They had access to PowerSchool, but that data often was a little outdated. So they did need a way to really intervene with students as things are happening. And so having a role where they don't have the ability to edit because they might not be well trained in how to handle Canvas as a whole, but they do need the ability to kind of check in on students and help students. So guidance counselors are a great example of this. So giving them that role that allows them to view but not edit is very helpful. I do find it's still really important as a Canvas admin for you to train them on what they're going to get, because some of them, that's going to be quite overwhelming to suddenly see Canvas from the admin perspective. So I did find that when I gave a role like this to a person at Butler, I spent the time with them to kind of go through, how do you search for a course? How do you search for a person? What can you find and where? That way it wasn't me just throwing something at them and hoping they could figure it out. So it is really important that if you are giving these roles to people, you are spending the time training them how to use it properly. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And so that takes us to our questions. Again, if you've got some feedback about the assignments page, the enhancements that we're considering rolling out, please fill out the j.mp/ITPD office hours. Give us some feedback there. And that could be what you like, don't like, what you'd like to see, pros and cons, anything to help us make this decision. So got the questions up.
I love the enhancements. I'm going to shout out Jake. Jake made the cards look prettier. I think because I picked on them a little bit, but they're so pretty now.
All of a
So,
sudden, he got very quiet for a little bit, and the next thing you know, he shows up with this, of course. So
I'm
we've
like,
added some new categories to the form. I know there's Canvas, Dino. We even added Google Apps Script because I bothered him enough about that one. And then he was kind enough
what
to
that
do-
is Justin is subtly suggesting that people should know more Google Apps Script.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
there's
that's
a new
how we roll.
IDE coming, and I will
With
say
that
it looks awesome.
with that enhancement, yeah, it's going to be well worth it.
It's going to be a little bit more
I'm excited.
user friendly for people to try Google Apps Script soon, hopefully. Yeah.
We'll be coding like it's 2020 instead of
1995.
2005, maybe. Yeah. All right. So we got Adina students at Lawrence Orr Elementary attempting to figure out how we print progress reports via Canvas. Oh, we don't. The progress report process that has been recommended by the district is creating Canvas assignments for every student and putting their progress report information into that assignment. We are not aware of any way to get that printed easily.
This
It's not
could be
meant to be printed. It's an assignment, and printing is not something that's really.
This could be a use case for
this.
showing them how to go to the users page and look at the users that they need to see and see the enhancements that we've added. Would you agree, Jake?
I don't think it's going to print the progress report.
No,
the way they
I
want it,
agree.
though.
No, but
it's not going to do that. They want to print the elementary school, the K2 progress report in an assignment, and it wasn't built for that. That was not a consideration when the directions were given to make assignments for progress reports, I guess. We weren't involved in that conversation. So I don't have a good answer for you to print progress reports the way that progress reports the way that teachers are being directed to make progress reports for K2. The printing is, I don't see an option to do that. So we don't have an answer for that one.
Okay, next question. Let's see what we got here. This is from Bo. It's about a teacher leaving the school. Bo, this is a teacher of record change, and this will need to be a cross-listing. This needs to be done by someone who has Canvas admin rights at the school. They look up the old course, and they will cross-list the sections from the new course into the old course. We've posted those instructions on canvas.cmslearns.org. We've also discussed it a few times with our admin meetings. So if you go to the webinars page, we have instructions there as well. If you search cross-listing. So that is a cross-listing issue. And
I was going to show how to do that. It's just taking a second.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why. What are you doing to your poor computer?
Do you want to show how to do that? I get this question a lot, especially. So we do have this recorded. It was the session Jake and I did and forgot to record, but we did go back and record that session.
Yes, we did.
So it's actually a shorter video. It's only like 20 minutes. So we did go through that process of cross-listing. I know this is an intimidating process the first time you try it, but it does work. Like if you follow the directions, I've had enough people try it now. I feel pretty confident that the directions walk you through the process step by step. Read carefully, follow the directions, but the directions are there, and then I also walk you through it in that video. So if you do that, you can take a look at it from here, and I strongly encourage you to do that. It does take a couple days for the whole process to work its way through, so don't expect it to be an automatic process. When your data manager changes it in PowerSchool, it takes a couple days for that class to be generated in Canvas, and that's when you start the process. So just kind of be aware of how that works.
The actual cross-listing is instant.
Yes, right. That part's instant, but
what you do will cause an instant change, but waiting for PowerSchool and Canvas enrollments to be the same can take 24 to 48 hours.
Yes, that's very correct. So that's how you go about that, and we do have those directions for you there. Oh, cross-listing.
Okay, the next question. Oh, there it is. Nope.
We want to talk about inventory.
Okay.
Who are they supposed to contact for NCDLMI?
I would think Uwe.
Yeah.
I think that's who we've been told. Uwe at this point would be your point of contact. or even ask your engineer who they're pointing you in the direction of. But I don't think your team has anything. Y'all aren't doing anything
We
with
don't. No,
NCTLMI.
no, that would have
Yeah.
to be. If you're not sure of those contacts, call the help desk and they will give you
Yes.
direction.
Yeah.
Unless,
Yeah.
hopefully Sagan's listening to that and he's not cursing my name right now for saying that. But calling the help desk will get you the right answer for how to contact someone.
Yeah.
And their other questions would deal with that same, call the help desk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are teams other than us.
All right.
All right. Next one. What are we looking at here? Mine's not up to date. I'm sorry.
This isn't a new one. Or this is a new one, so we got to read it closely.
So I'm seeing not showing up Canvas iPad. There are too many for the app.
Too many for app to load. My teachers are linking the assigned module in their home pages, and then that module won't appear.
So a couple of things here, if I'm understanding it correctly. One, we recommend linking directly to the first page of the module as the first thing I would recommend. Yeah, the first item in the module, not to the modules page or not to that module link, but actually go into the first item in the modules, grab that URL and link to that. That'll prevent the issue from too many modules. Second thing we're recommending is unpublish those old modules you don't need anymore. And we had somebody, question is, if you unpublish the module, it doesn't mean the assignment is unpublished. The assignment is still published. We cannot unpublish the assignment because students have already submitted work. But now what we're doing is keeping that from appearing on the modules page and causing more slowdown.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is allow the students to access the modules they need to access today. They don't need the Q1 modules. Get rid of them. And it's that simple.
And if a student needs access to it, they can still go to their grades page and click on that assignment. So if they're missing that assignment from quarter one and you have a student who's making up old work, even though you've unpublished it on the modules page, that student will still have access to that assignment through their grades page. The other recommendation is just to move the module to the bottom of the page. So the quarter one ones are all at the bottom if you're not comfortable unpublishing them. So that's the other way of handling it.
And a good little trick for navigating the modules is if you go to the modules page, you have the option to collapse all. So you as the teacher can collapse them, move them around as you want to, and that'll reorder them for the students. So that's a fast way to not have to worry about all the scrolling at times.
Yeah, but that's how they would go about it.
Yeah. So this next one saying second grade students were getting a message that the course did not exist when trying to access courses in their Canvas app. That's a new one.
I haven't heard that one
yet. Ultimately, as you go through all of the things on this that Katie is saying, this is a ticket. This really is a CMS or Canvas support request. Please remember, you can go, any teacher, any adult in this district, any employee of CMS has the little question mark icon in Canvas and the ability to chat with someone live. That's Canvas support. You can report the issue with them. They will work with you right there and help you get to the bottom of the problem. It would be the first place I'd recommend going for this situation, Katie. Have the teacher go to the Canvas support and show what's happening. If you do a CMS help desk ticket, we need details. We need lots and lots of details on this. We need to know the teacher. We need to know this course. We need to see screenshots from the students' experience on the app. We need all of the data to show what is happening to help us first be able to replicate the issue. We can't replicate it when you say students can't see the course, right? Which course, which students, which teacher, all those things we need to know. So be as thorough as you can with a ticket, but again, directing the teacher to report the problem directly to Canvas would also probably be the fastest way to get to a solution. We have not heard of this before. It's not to say it's not happening or that, whatever unique settings that are in place for that course and those iPads, we have to get to the bottom of to figure out what's going on. So I can't give a general instance because answer on how to fix this. We've never seen this, so we're not sure we have to replicate it first to be able to have a notion of what's going on there.
Usually
And the
when
next one,
access is not there, it's often a link, checking that the link is the right link too, that it's a student link and all that too.
yep, and not link back to the blueprint, which seems to have been better. We haven't had as many instances of that. The next ticket is from Katie as well. They're still seeing the PNG JPEG issue. The only other thing I can think of, and I would say get screenshots from the student, is make sure that they've updated the Canvas app as well. So this is where I was originally messing it up, whereas I was updating the iOS and still having the issue. I had to actually go into the student app in the apps and update that one as well, and then turn it on there. This is another one. If it's an issue, we recommend reaching out to Canvas chat support because we have limited access to the iPads and the settings, at least from our team. Would you agree, Jake?
Yeah, and that's actually even for our mobile device management. We can't go to that setting. It's something that the end user has to do. So there are a couple of steps to it, and like you said, just making sure the iPad's updated, that the app is updated. Then go into settings and modify that.
And this would be a recommendation too, is to meet with the student if you can and let them share their screen so you can see what they're seeing.
Yeah, one other thing to check is the Zscaler and make sure the student's recently logged into Zscaler. On the Chromebooks, we often see that images don't show up on Chromebooks whenever a student has not recently logged into Zscaler. So I know that that's now been implemented on the iPads as too. So just making sure that they've recently logged into the Zscaler, which might require them to just restart the iPad and have them prompt to log into Zscaler again. So that's another thing to consider, sadly. There's a lot to consider there.
Next question is from Beth. Basically, my admin just asked me, planning to move student sections and their courses who have moved from remote to in-person, vice versa. The short of it, will this mess with Canvas? And the short answer is yes, yes, yes.
So it will, but this is the direction we have given, right? This is, I've consulted with our Power School and all parties making this mandate on how to move forward. And the reason why we're doing this is if you remove them from this the current course before the end of this quarter, then they're removed from that course. Their grades, their work, everything disappears out of Canvas. And if they haven't saved it to Power School already, then that information is really hard to retrieve. So we're talking about individual preference. Each student has the choice to stay full remote or come in. And so as they make those changes, schedules are getting modified, but we're saying do not drop kids from this current quarter until the quarter closes, right? So we want to leave the kids in their current sections right now so that they can continue working with their current teacher. And then after over winter break, right near the opening of school, they're going to remove that enrollment, and then the kid just has the new teacher's enrollment to work in. So yeah, yes, it will mess with Canvas, but it's the best answer we can give to ensure that teachers can finish this quarter with their students and give them their grades and get ready for second quarter or second semester as the enrollments get shifted. Yeah. So yeah, Beth, you heard right, and that is what needs to happen in order to ensure that students can keep working with their current teacher.
Okay, that's all the questions.
Yeah. Again, if you have any feedback about the assignments page, love to hear it. If not, we'll be looking for an announcement later this week, probably saying that we've gone live with it.
The goal is to help teachers a little bit more with trying to get that grade sync working for them, so they're not always having to wait on a help desk ticket or getting frustrated with it when it doesn't work. So we're trying to provide more guardrails for them to get that process working for them better. Yeah,
exactly.
It's a good word for it.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Shout out to you for figuring that out. It was kind of fun to watch you do that. Yeah.
Canvas is amazing for the ability to customize. We can reach in and make changes as we need. That's It's just what time and imagination we've got to do it with.
Yeah. Coming up with the new ways to help them. I can't tell you how many times I've had teachers forget to hit that save button. So that alone has been amazing. Like,
Yeah.
that is a helpful thing. Yeah.
All the new features on the users page as well. Being able to see the sub account and all of that as well. Seeing the active enrollments has helped me a lot too with tickets.
Yeah.
So,
I haven't clicked on a next semester course or like the wrong course in a little while. So that's been helpful. Can't tell you how often I do that. Otherwise.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have any more questions in the next minute. I guess we can call it a day.
We had a little bit of a late start. We might have lost some people today, but that's okay. We figured it out. Yeah.
Quiz questions from November. I think we had a lot of people take the quiz. Well, that's good.
2 more just came in.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. There we
go. So this will be a short month, right? So we'll be creative with our quiz questions for this one.
So we had 3 come in on the thing.
Cool.
It says the first one here is from Michelle. When I create a rubric for an assignment or quiz, how do I make it visible to the students so they know how the open-ended tasks will be graded?
So when you create the rubric, you're going to click on the pencil, and at the bottom of the pencil of the rubric, there's going to be like 5 new options that pop up. And I think one of them is make visible to students. But I think the moment you attach it to the assignment, that one's checked by default, I believe. But of course, this is a great question to showcase how to check the Canvas guides. So if we want to know exactly how to do this, I have a custom search engine now for searching this Canvas guide. So rubrics in Canvas is what I'm going to search. And it's going to bring me to hopefully the instructor guide on that, but I'll check that before I click on one.
So Amy's using the custom search engine, but right from Canvas, if you click on help, you see search the Canvas guides inside of Canvas. It'll take you to the same place that she's going.
Yeah. I'm going to click on graded discussion, add a rubric for an assignment. And I just kind of read through and figure out which one's most relevant. Often you're looking at one that says instructor guide beside it because they do have student, parent, and instructor guides. So it's important to check that out. So it's showing you go to the assignment, you add the rubric and find the rubric. I thought it was one of these. The students are probably going to see it, I think, actually, the moment you add it, now that I think about it. You just have to associate it from the beginning, and then the students can see it. There is a button for the students that say show rubric, or they just scroll to the bottom of the assignments details page. That's where they see it. Some students don't know to scroll down to see it, so it might be a part of, like, as the teacher, it might be the moment of pulling that up and screen sharing and showing the students where the rubric is visibly. In student view, you would actually be able to see the rubric as well. So one thing I would encourage is, if I were a teacher in a classroom right now in the remote setting, is I'd pull this assignment up in student view and show my students where they can see that rubric attached. So that's an important piece of it. I'm sure I have an assignment somewhere that's got one. Do you have one already attached somewhere?
No, I was trying to see if there's one on this one.
I was going to say, I have one in a class, but I'm trying to think of what class it would be.
There it is. That's right. It's not on the actual page where you do the editing. It's
like on that assignment details page. I don't think OBS loves when I make us full screen. Come on. So Jake, I don't know why it does that. Okay, there it goes. So Jake's looking at an assignment for you. Yep.
If you look at the assignment, scroll to the bottom, you can just click on the button to add a rubric. Mm-hmm. And then create a rubric.
Yeah. Or find one.
And once you create it or find a rubric, when you click the create rubric button, it's visible to students.
Yep.
It's automatic. That's the whole point of making a rubric, is so students would see it. So if the question was, how do I create a Canvas rubric for an assignment and ensure students see it, it will just show up. Now, if you're talking about embedding a Google Doc or a spreadsheet or something rubric that you customize somewhere else outside of Canvas, well, then you're going to have to pop it into the course, into this assignment somewhere, which I would argue, why would you do that? Because the rubric here is always attached to the assignment, and you can use it in the speed grader for grading. So if you check this box, you can then you can just use speed grader and click on the rubric elements in order to award points for the assignment. It's really nice for that. I'd highly recommend using rubrics for grading. Canvas rubrics right in here like this.
It's really awesome. It shows up and it makes grading amazing. As I will say that was what sold me on Canvas being awesome. Speed grader and rubrics.
Same here.
Yep.
That was the one that got me.
Absolutely.
So the next question comes from Nelda, and it is, while you guys are getting set up on your end, counselor is added to the quizzes.next service admin as an admin. Somebody made a mistake, Nelda. So remove them from that role and re-add them as a leadership viewer. That's one of those instances where I get to jump up real quick. So
all right.
You're good.
You're good. Yeah, so quizzes.next service admin, that's a special role that we can't remove. Canvas needs it for something, but don't add people as a quizzes.next service admin. There's no need for that, and it won't do them any good. So you just remove the user and then add them with the correct role that you want them to have.
And you do have to remove them. I've tried that before when somebody did that at Butler. You have to actually remove them and re-add them. There is no editing it.
Yep. All right, so what's next?
It's Beth asking if he's asking follow-up question. He's asking if that disrupts their grade sync if they're in both sections. I honestly don't know.
It shouldn't, because if they're in the other section, it's fine. They just don't have any assignment yet to right? Their grade isn't going to be there. When they're enrolling them in the new section, they're enrolling them for a future date. So they won't, this should not be a problem is my answer. Famous last words, probably, but yeah, that should not be a problem, because if they're in PowerSchool enrolled in that section, that's not a problem. They won't have grades, but there will, the grade sync should work, right? As long as the enrollments are coming from PowerSchool, right? They could be in two courses of like English 1, and that's okay, as long as they're in both of those courses in PowerSchool, right? So one of those courses they're finishing work on and submitting for and having grades for, and the other one it's a placeholder for next semester. But I believe if PowerSchool is configuring right, those students won't be enrolled, won't be active enrollments until the start of second semester, not right now. So it should not be a problem. That's the best answer I can give.
I was gonna say, when in doubt, reimport your grade categories and remaster the grade book if it is a problem. That's gonna be my suggestion.
Yeah, that you're right. But it should not cause a conflict that would prevent from posting grades. You just have to reimport assignment groups,
which they're gonna have to do second semester anyway, because they're gonna have new courses in Canvas theoretically anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we had a nice little sprint of some extra questions there.
Good. Yeah.
Remember, you can submit for next week, and we'll answer it as we can. Sorry about the technical difficulties today. Hopefully that worked. I did get a little bit of a notification that we were having some connection issues, even on YouTube on my end at one point. It resolved, so we might have had some slow buffering in the middle of that today. But YouTube resolved it. So I think YouTube was having a little bit of an issue today with streaming too. Might not have been us.
We're not the only people that have ever had issues with that. So.
Yep. Nope. It's a learning process.
All right. Well, thank you all. Have a good week, and we'll catch up with you next week.